Welcome to Chapter 13 of the History of the Missouri Feral Hog. Feral hogs eliminated from Missouri are 9,800. 54,000 feral hogs have been eliminated off private and public land since 2016, and actually since 2008 it adds up to 65,400. The Missouri Conservation Commission meeting February 17th, 2022. Sarah Parker Pauley says we're having great progress. Hogs removed down around from last year was 3,000, but scouted twice as many acres. January of 2020 killed 1,046. January 2021 killed 1,926. January of 2022 killed 999. A direct impact with no hunting command structure and more agencies making its top priority. 4 university specialists for feral hogs have met with landowners, county commissioners, local farm bureau, community leaders, and will be hosting a media day coming weeks. 200 cell cameras added for the feral hog operations. But landowners are still not seeing it. Sounders are being seen all across southern Missouri. 805 tons of corn is the estimated MDC will use for CWD kill zones for deer and feral hog bait sites. February of 2022, Missouri Conservation Department anticipates but does not guarantee the below estimated amounts of corn will be needed for each region. 20 tons for the northwest, 30 tons for the northeast, 25 tons for St. Louis, 50 tons for Kansas City. None needed in the central, 100 tons in the southwest, 215 tons in the Ozarks, and 415 tons in the southeast. This is a prime example how the separation of the government and the media has blurred. The writer of the article in the Missouri newspaper is a government employee. Lucas Bond, the news service coordinator for Missouri Conservation Department. But we have forgotten American press is supposed to, over the past 2 centuries, kept its independence from the government. The American press enjoys the role as so-called watchdog of the government, but in Missouri apparently this no longer applies. This is why the same article shows up day after day in every media across Missouri, word for word. Missouri Department of Conservation government release articles to the Associated Press, and every news outlet prints it, reads it off without question. The media is no longer independent of the government, but just an extension of. Over 7 examples right here, but it's even further than that. It's news outlets in the TV, it's news outlets on the radio, it's news outlets in the newspapers, news outlets online. All have the same exact wording for every article provided by the Missouri Department of Conservation, without question. Whether it's clear out or whether it's right after a snowstorm, the feral hogs are still on the Missouri landscape in 2022. Another hog dogger and his dogs takes out another monster feral hog in Missouri. But the meat doesn't go to waste. He uses it just like they do in Texas. The only difference is Texas, they can market it. The exotic meat market offers USDA inspected fresh and frozen wild boar meat or wild boar capture from the hilly ranch outside San Antonio. Being wild, they are entirely free range, no added hormones, steroids, or antibiotics, and this is why the Missouri Pig Lobby Group does not want feral hogs going to market in Missouri. go back to 2019, you can remember seeing the Castor River video damage of a mile-long hog damage along the river and all the hog damage at the Blue Pond on Castor River Conservation Area. The government hog trapper in Blair County caught a total of 78 hogs in 2021. Local landowners are fed up, and local landowners goes with a private trapping company. 7 miles away from the hog damage on Castor River Conservation Area, the local landowner goes with a private trapping company. The government trapper in Blair County caught a total of 78 hogs in 2021. The local trapping company caught 49 wild hogs in Blair County, more than half of what the government trapper caught in a year's time. Hog doggers catch 3 more in 2022, and these sows were in nest with piglets. Feral hogs in Missouri are one of the only animals in the woods that have birth during February, during the coldest months of the year. And after a few weeks, they can survive on their own, even without their mother. Another sow with 5 piglets that were unborn that was killed by hog doggers. Another 6 piglets killed by hog doggers. The process never ends, and you have to kill 70% a year to be able to keep the population stable. While feral signs, wild pigs can be dangerous to people and pets. Those signs are in other states. These signs are not on any of the state parks or any of the conservation areas or Mark Twain National Forest or Corps of Engineering land. And this is another prime example of what wild hogs can do to a pet dog in 2022. January 25th of 2022, another pet dropped off from the city. Well, MDC officials put out a public service announcement to pet pig owners. Can a pot-bellied pig be feral swine? The answer is yes. Feral swine is a bureaucratic designation. It's not a different species of pig. A feral swine in Missouri is basically any swine that is roaming freely on public land or private land without permission and is not conspicuously identified by ear tags or other forms of identification. Pet pig owners, National Geographic has a complete article on this and how they are being released into the wild. Mark Twain National Forest official stance is one of the 3 of the ways feral hogs come to exist in Missouri: people's pets. Feral hogs can be a pet pig, a mini pig, a pot-bellied pig, a Vietnamese pig, a domestic pig, a farm pig, a big ag pig, a Eurasian hog, or a Russian hog. Feral hog is a bureaucratic designation. It is not a different species of pig. Feral hogs can be pet pigs, mini pigs, pot-bellied pigs, Vietnamese pigs, domestic pigs, farm pigs, big ag pig, Eurasian hog, or a Russian hog. Feral hog is a bureaucratic designation. It is not a different species of pigs, and every pig in the photos on this page come across Missouri, from the Iowa border to the Arkansas border to the Illinois border to the Kansas border. These pigs have been photographed. Missouri turkeys were an all-time high, but you can't keep adding animals like turkeys and bear and elk and expect the food source to stay the same. So the first place my mind goes in competition for food resources: seeds, acorns, and insects, which undoubtedly affects the aspect of the turkey biology. Also think about the competitive and behavior exclusion, which is basically ideal that turkeys don't like to be around pigs. 9 years of flights at Mingo National Wildlife Refuge since the government has 100% control of that area to eradicate hogs on 21,000 acres. Mark Twain National Forest, in comparison, is 1,500,000 acres. MDC staff quote, "Helicopter gunner also is effective at killing the last few hogs in an area have managed to avoid being trapped. even though NBC staff quote, trapping catches whole sounders. For how many years have they been killing the last remaining hogs? Let's see, 2022 to 2013 is 9 years. They've been killing that last remaining hogs. Part of the $4.5 million that Missouri Department of Conservation has gone to the University of Missouri Extension. Feral hog elimination efforts are ramping up in Missouri thanks to a 3-year federal grant. In a partnership with the University of Missouri Extension, 4 feral hog outreach educator positions have come to the state and 3 have already been filled. Kevin Kreider, based in Salem, Missouri, has experience in trapping hogs, telling Brownfield his job is to educate on anti-feral hog measures and to coordinate feral hog trapping and harvesting resources. See, as a Missouri citizen, I am for comprehensive approach. I am for trapping, either electronic or animal activated. I'm for shooting on site. I am for hog dogging. I'm for using thermals. I'm for using thermal drones. I'm not even against the use of helicopters in Texas, but it is inefficient and inexpensive method at the taxpayer expense in Missouri. History proves all have never existed at the same level at the same time in Missouri. Documented historical records prove this. So as a Missouri citizen, what anti-feral hog measures am I for? I'm for performance standards required for all government-paid hog trappers. Verification of all feral hogs killed. Stop the misinformation to the public that tripwire traps which are the majority of traps used in Missouri and guaranteed of catching whole sounders, is a lie. All government traps must be checked daily, in person, or by cell camera, and I believe that a common sense measure is not anti-feral hog measures. The little piggy went north. Nathan P. Snow, USDA APHIS, Wildlife Service, National Wildlife Research Center. The Snow and his colleagues found that during this period, the rate of northern expansion accelerated at 7.8 miles per year. If this trend persists, wild pigs are predicted to reach most U.S. counties in 30 to 50 years, but likely faster southward expansion from Canada continues, which it has. The result of the model showed the invasive wild pigs are most likely to expand their range into adjacent areas that are similar to the ones they currently occupy, like Missouri, which the entire southern half is almost identical. Missouri has the greatest average movement rates. The average home range size is greatest in Missouri. We analyzed GPS data from individual pig studies across 6 states, including Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Missouri, South Carolina, and Texas. We obtained over 400,000 GPS locations of wild pigs from 13 studies spanning 6 states in southern U.S. and quantified movement rates of home range size. Missouri and Texas had the greatest average movement rates.